touched him out.
Oh, I don't think.
All right. And
It's already done.
what is your name?
Sean Harding.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
Ryan
morning.
Davis for Mr. Harding. We have two motions pending today. One is a motion to reduce bond in which the state does have one TBI agent that is here.
He didn't say done, but he's got these people.
Hold up, when Brad Shelton walks into court, it's never business. As usual, this guy is not your average investigator. He's the undercover force behind some of the wildest takedowns in Tennessee history. If he's testifying, you already know the state is bringing the heat and playing to win.
You at the jail until such time as I call on you, please. All right.
And I've also
I'm sorry, repeat that.
This, I filed a motion to reduce bond on Mr. Harding's behalf. The state has one witness, a TBI agent that is here. I think that'll be a relatively brief hearing on the motion to reduce bond. And then I've also filed a motion to withdraw as counsel, which I think would need to be heard second. And so I'm happy to assist Mr. Harding with the motion to reduce bond whenever the court's ready to have that heard.
Well, if you think it's going to be a short motion, we'll go ahead. Is the state ready to take up this motion for bond reduction? Well, since he's here and in custody, I'd like to go ahead and deal with it if we can.
That'd be fine, Your Honor.
We'll give you space at the table. Just shove all that stuff that the public defender has on that table out of your way.
Did you catch that the defense attorney just filed to withdraw from the case right there in open court? That is not just a red flag, that is a full-blown legal siren. When even your own lawyer wants out, you know the road ahead is looking real rough.
All right, Mr. Davis, I understand you want to argue the motion for a reduction of bond before your motion to withdraw, correct?
Mr. Harding has been in custody for a couple of years now. This is one of the conspiracy cases, and despite that, a motion to reduce his bond has never been filed. That being said, he has made the best of his time while in custody. Attached to my motion, he's completed several courses, and Career Academy course in Enduring Skills, another course called the Master Plan, The Only Person You Cheat Is You, and then also an electrical course, and so some job readiness, and he's made good use of his time there. He also has been accepted, most importantly, Exhibit B to our motion, has been accepted into the Cross-Style Center for a year-long residential treatment and recovery program. The acceptance letter was dated March 7th, so this we filed this motion as soon as, and set it as soon as possible once he was accepted into that program. Based on other cases that have been heard today, it appears that his plea settlement deadline is going to be September 22nd with a trial date of late January. And Your Honor, this is a much better use of the taxpayer resources of this county for Mr. Harding to receive not quite a year, but even if he were to be convicted at trial, several months of rehabilitation and treatment in a residential facility that he's required to remain on campus, and certainly the court could put appropriate conditions on that release, but he needs the bond to be set at a significantly more reasonable amount in order for his friends and family to be able to make that bond for him. So I believe he's demonstrated the best conduct he can while in custody, as well as acceptance into a program. He's not asking just to roam free in the community. He's asking to get treatment, and I think that's a better use of resources, and that would be...
Okay, here's the twist hauling. Us got accepted into a year-long residential rehab program. Is this the start of a real redemption arc, or just a perfectly timed chess move to win favor in court? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you give this guy a second
At
chance.
this point, I don't intend to call him as a witness unless the court sees fit.
All right, your argument is, your case will be based solely on your argument, and he has a charge of driving a revoked license, second offense, unlawful drug paraphernalia uses and activities in 2023 CR 10, and then, if I understand correctly, according to the docket, he then has a case of, that's the conspiracy case,
Yeah,
300 grams or more, and then he also has another separate indictment of 2023 CR 19, charging him with possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell, unlawful drug paraphernalia, and resisting arrest. All right?
yes, Your Honor. I've got four case numbers.
Right.
It's
And there is
possible I
another
missed one.
case of possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell 0.5 grams or more, possession of heroin for resale, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, possession of firearm during a dangerous felony.
Yes, Your Honor. All 23 cases, I've got numbers 10, 19, 21, and 62.
And what is the aggregate total bond that he has?
$235,000.
All right. I've heard your argument. We'll allow the state to respond. All right, call your first witness.
I do.
Can you please state your name for the record?
My name is Sean Adkins,
And where are you employed?
Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
And did you participate in a multi-agency investigation involving a wiretap?
Yes, I did.
And who was that wiretap on?
It was on the Dantes Good drug trafficking organization.
Okay. And
Soon the total bond thus hit $235,000. That is not a bond, that is a wall. Judges do not throw out numbers like that for no reason. It means they see danger, a flight risk, or maybe.
period, are you familiar with whether or not Mr. Harding was arrested prior to the conspiracy?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know what he was found with during that time period?
The first I learned of it was in, I believe, September of 2022. He was arrested for possession of methamphetamine, heroin, and a weapon.
Okay. And are you familiar with how much methamphetamine he had?
Yeah, it was estimated that it was over 100 grams of methamphetamine. I don't know what the exact total was when it came back from the lab.
Okay. And you said that was on September 26th of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. Were you able to, was Mr. Harding on the wire at all in the Dantes Good organization?
Yes, he came up in the wire around December of 2022 and through January 3rd of 2023 multiple times.
Okay, and can you tell us what it means by that he was on the wire? Explain what his participation was.
All right, during the wire we were listening to the telephone of Dantes Good, the primary target of this drug trafficking organization. We identified a number coming from Sean Harding where he contacted Dantes Good to arrange drug purchases.
And would he travel to pick up those items?
Yes, ma'am. He traveled to Davidson County.
And was he seen on surveillance during that time period?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And looking at the wire purchases, are you aware of how many purchases of drugs and the different types of drugs during that, I think you said from September to January?
This is where it gets serious. We are talking wiretaps, multi-agency operations, and an alleged player tied to a major drug trafficking ring. The moment Harding's voice hit that wire, he was no longer just a suspect, he became a target.